Dreamy dreamers, this rare message found you right when you need it the most. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Crazy Dreamer Network. My name is AJ and let's hop right into today's reading. So today's reading is a pick a card and only the rarest of you. This video found you and it was no accident, okay? We have 4 piles, pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. I will leave you all some time to meditate on your pile selection. Okay, so again, pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. I love you all so much, and I'll see you in your reading. Bye. Hey, pile number ones, welcome back to your reading. This reading is regarding what important messages are finding you, pile number 1, for the spring equinox, okay? So you all chose this gorgeous 4-leaf clover shaped emerald. And what I'm getting for you, pile number 1's off bat is that, the spring equinox is bringing a lot of luck and fortune into your life. Some of you all really may feel like you've been needing a win, or those of you who don't necessarily feel like you've been needing a win, you feel that, I want to say transitioning out of February, or maybe even during February, you've been feeling like luck favors you, like luck has been on your side, and that's about to perpetuate throughout the springtime, okay? For my spring babies, happy birthday, Pisces and Aries, I think alongside Tauruses too. Don't quote me on that. I know Taurus kind of, borders summer as well. So, but they do start, they do start in spring because they start in May, their season. So happy birthday to my spring babies. But yes, just off of the emerald, just off of the stone selection alone, the pile selection alone, I feel like you guys are ushering in a new sense of like favored energy is what I'll say. Okay, so without further delay, let's get into your reading, pile number 1. Just gonna cleanse that deck right there. Gonna give this a good little waft in the fire, and let's begin. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit, for cleansing and blessing this deck for our pile number 1s. For giving pile number 1's clear, concise, accurate messages. What important messages are finding our pile number 1's for the spring equinox? What important messages are finding our pile number 1's for the spring equinox? Look at this. Pile number 1's. We have perseverance with dandelion. And I think this is so interesting. We have the sun beaming on these dandelions, right? And it's almost as if the sun blew a dandelion to make a wish, right? And what did I say? Fortune is favoring you. It's like you're ushering in the spirit of fortune. And this dandelion just blew out, and we all know what that symbolizes. It talks about making a wish, So some of you all might find your wishes actually coming true during springtime, and your wishes are becoming more and more fulfilled by the spring equinox. We also have at the bottom of the deck, you are sacred with Tulsi. And I know, I want to say herb wise, Tulsi is an amazing herb that has to do with like psychic abilities, and it's a very mystical herb is what I'll say. It's a holy herb. So again, I feel like I'm getting here, your body is a temple as well. At the bottom of the deck, your body is a temple. And I'm getting the better you treat your body, the more fortune will favor you, pile number 1's, okay? The better you treat your body, the more fortune will favor you. And I say that because I feel like in the like spring seasons, when it's more hot and when the sun is more actively out, it's better if we kind of like eat lighter and kind of like give our body those nutrient dense, but not in like a heavy way, more fruits, more vegetables, keeping what we're eating light. So it's like our energetic body can elevate, right, in frequency, and then we start to attract things very swiftly, is what I'm getting. Also, dandelion as an herb, as an herb, I know I've heard is really great for heart health, right? And when I see the sun, I am getting a lot of Leo energy. And I think that's interesting because it says perseverance. I'm getting the strength card. And I say heart health is because Leos kind of rule the heart as well, right? You wouldn't think that, but they're represented by the sun, right? And they rule the heart. So I think there could be a wish that's finally coming in for you. This is one of the messages, a wish that's finally coming in for you that's really going to feel good on a heart-based level as well, okay? So let's get into some tarot to gain more insight into these messages. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit, for cleansing and blessing this deck for our pile number ones, for giving clear, concise, accurate messages to pile number ones. What important messages are finding pile number ones for the spring equinox? Clear, concise, accurate messages for our pile number ones. What important messages are finding our pile number ones for the spring equinox? Okay, I'm going to take all of these cards. Yeah. So the first card to come out was the Page of Wands. So again, there's going to be some good news. We have this, what is this animal? I'm going to look. At first, I thought it was a raccoon, but I know it's not because it's a different color. But the Page of Wands is a card of a messenger, right? It could be a young messenger. It could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It doesn't have to be per se, but it could be. But someone's coming in to bring good news to you. You could be feeling very spontaneous and very fun, right? You could be going for something too that you've been wanting to, or something could be coming up to where like you're able to go do something, go explore, go on an adventure, right? With the Page of Wands, you could be traveling as well or getting some news of traveling. But let's see the other cards. We have the Hermit. Ironic, because that's like the opposite. It's literally the opposite message, but let's see. We have the Hierophant. Let's see. We have the Page of Cups. So 2 pages already off bat, which I think is interesting because to me that represents like new energy, which spring ushers in. So that's okay. 9 of Swords. I think this 9 of Swords, and I'm just going to say it to y'all, pile number ones, this might be the case. This might not be the case. Take what resonates, leave the rest. This 9 of Swords might be stemming from the retrograde. I think the retrograde is about to end soon if it hasn't already by the time you've seen this. But this 9 of Swords has been coming out a lot during readings. So let's see. And then we have the 2 of Cups. Very interesting. Pile number 1. So important messages that are that are finding you for the spring equinox, in essence, is, to me, it's talking about doing something new and bringing in a sense of new energy, right? There's 2 players on the board. There's a Page of Wands and then there's a Page of Cups. Now, these could be 2 people. They don't necessarily have to be. I am getting that they are, especially with this 2 of Cups coming out. But what I'm also getting, pile number ones, is that I feel like there's a new beginning in love. It could be with a fire sign. It could be with a water sign. And it's almost like you guys might be starting over or getting to know each other on a different level, on a new level is what I'm getting here. Especially with perseverance. And it's like someone's luck. It's about someone's luck. Now, it's interesting with the Hermit, we have like this bobcat or this cheetah or something, and they're looking towards, it's like they're looking for something, right? They're looking for something with the Hermit. They may be seeking something from within, right? With the Hermit and the Nine of Swords, I am getting a lot of mercurial energy and a lot of inner work being done. And it's interesting because we have card number 5 with the Hierophant, and these cards both have triangles in them, right? And to me, what that means is there's like a holy trinity, right? There's three aspects of something coming together. In symbolism, the triangle is a very sacred shape, right? It talks about centeredness. It also, the triangle to me also correlates with the heart space. Some of you, pile number ones, and again, this won't connect with all of you. Some of you could be going through I want to say a dark night of the soul, but that's not what I mean. And that's not what's really standing out here. What's standing out is like some of you may be dodging a proverbial bullet too. And I say that because we have this centipede that's dodging all of these swords. They're not getting impaled by the swords because they're limber enough to go through the blades, right? And with the Hermit energy, I feel this intuitive nature. It's almost like instinct, right? But it's coming from within. And that's what I'm getting with this Perseverance card. It's like there's something deep that's coming from within. This could be a new beginning, a new start, a brand new start. Maybe with a couple, right? Maybe the energy feels new for people. If this doesn't have anything to do with a couple or like a relationship or anything like that, the Page of Wands and the Page of Cups, I feel like it's telling you to travel, to go on an adventure. It's interesting though, because we have the Hermit. So I'm like, is this a solo journey? Some of you all might be going on a solo travel and you like on a solo trip or something like that. And you could be a little worried about it, but in reality, it's going to almost like give you heightened ability or heightened strength with this Hierophant card, right? Because it's like you might be challenging convention or the norms with this Hierophant card. And some of you might be meeting someone else. If you're not already in a relationship, or if this applies to you, you could be meeting someone on a travel, on a quest. Because this Hermit, I can't stop getting, they're looking for something. They're hearing it. You know, it's instinctual. They're going by instincts, especially with this bobcat. They say animals, truly only animals go off of instinct, right? They say humans don't necessarily have instinct as well as animals do. Very interesting. And it's so funny to me, pile number ones, because this Page of Wands is connecting me with this Perseverance card. It's like sunny. It's like you could be preparing for a trip either during the springtime or the summertime, somewhere where it's bright out. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of introspection happening during this time, right? You could be getting a lot of psychic downloads with the Nine of Swords, because the Nine of Swords doesn't necessarily always have to relate to like anxiety or worrisome thoughts. It can, but it also is a card of prophecy, right? Your spiritual connection to source could be heightening at this time, especially with the Hierophant. But for some reason, I said solo trip, but I don't necessarily think for all of you, you're going to be going on this trip alone, or you might be traveling alone, but you're going to meet or encounter someone who you have a good connection with. Okay. So let's see. Let's clarify. Before I do though, we do have the Seven of Wands at the bottom of the deck. I don't necessarily know what this animal is or what this creature is, but I do know that the Seven of Wands talks about standing up for your convictions, right? Standing up for yourself. Sometimes it could represent being defensive, but it also can represent having boundaries. So your boundaries could be tested right now. You could be expanding your boundaries, right? as well. So let's see. I do want to do some clarifications, but let's see. I'll do it with this deck too. I was gonna do it with a different deck, but I'll do it with this one. Tell us more, Spirit. Clarify this Hermit energy for our pile number ones regarding what important messages are finding pile number ones for the spring equinox. Clarify this Hermit card for our pile number ones. Why is this Hermit card here for pile number ones? We have the Seven of Cups in reverse. You know what's interesting? Okay, this is upside down. So let me turn it back up. The Seven of Cups talks about options, and it could also talk about confusion. It's interesting because how these cups look, it kind of looks like a little like drunkenness, and not necessarily drunkenness in the literal sense, but like drunk off of something, drunk off of life. Like if you look at if you Google the origin of drunkenness, it could mean many things. It doesn't necessarily just have to mean from like alcohol or, you know, things like that. A person could be drunk off of life, or drunk off love, drunk in love, you know, things like that. Seven of Cups, the Hermit. Some of you all might be going on a trip in order to, I want to say, find clarity, right? Because the Seven of Cups does talk about confusion or illusion, right? Illusion. So some of you all may be looking, searching for clarity, and you're gonna find it in an isolated instance, right? Clarify this Nine of Swords for our pile number ones. Why is this Nine of Swords here for pile number ones? We have the Seven of Swords. Some of you all could be worried or anxious about like a lie, or someone saying things behind your back or doing something behind your back. Okay, clarify this Two of Cups, Spirit. Why is this Two of Cups here for our pile number ones? Why is this Two of Cups here for pile number one, Spirit? Clear, concise, accurate messages for our pile number ones. A card did come out. Justice. Okay. So with the Two of Cups here, we have Justice clarifying it. And look at how stern this owl looks. I feel like whatever is going on, something is going to be brought back into a state of balance and equilibrium for everyone involved. So if there's two people in this that you're worried about or nervous about, I do feel like things are going to be brought into a state of balance for you regarding whatever situation this is. This could just be you being brought back into balance as well. Maybe you felt off kilter and you felt like you needed to take a break or to take a trip or something like that in order to establish the balance within. Clarify this Page of Wands for our pile number ones. Thank you. We have the Knight of Cups. Okay. So yeah, some of you all could be getting good news, again, from like a person, someone else, right? This Page of Wands could be bringing you good news about like a trip or wanting to give you something, give you a gift, take you out, something like that, right? Give to you. Clarify this Hierophant for our pile number ones. Clarify this Hierophant for our pile number one, Spirit. Why is this Hierophant card here for pile number ones? Clear, concise, accurate messages. Too many cards. Clarify this Hierophant card for our pile number one, Spirit. Why is the Hierophant here for pile number ones? Why is the Hierophant here for pile number ones? Whew, it's kind of secret. Damn. Why is this Hierophant card here for our pile number one, Spirit? Clear, concise, accurate messages. It's like it doesn't want to come out. Okay, Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands. And we have the Dolphin with like a trident. The Knight of Wands. Someone, you know what I was instantly getting? Someone could be making like impulsive decisions about something kind of important. Why is this Page of Cups here for our pile number one, Spirit? Why is this Page of Cups here for our pile number ones? Look, this couldn't help itself but to come out. The Fool energy. Yeah, you remember when I said literally in the beginning of this reading, a fresh start. There was like a brand new beginning. In this Fool, you have this tortoise, this baby tortoise shell cracking open, right? He's being born. Very interesting. Bottom of the deck, the High Priestess. Some of you all, I feel like this reading is much more of a confirmation than like any new news to you. Some of you all could literally be in the middle of planning a trip or planning something, right? This could be for yourself to find like some clarity, or like to just get away, maybe to escape and to, again, gain more clarity and insight internally. For others, you could be going on a trip with a person and the trip does the sorting out of whatever you were anxious or confused about, if that makes sense, with the High Priestess at the bottom of the deck. Yeah. Something could be happening on this trip too, to where you kind of like felt it coming. This could be a proposal too. We don't have the Four of Wands here, but we do have the Hierophant. It doesn't necessarily have to be though. And some of you all might have felt anxious about this because you might have felt like someone was sneaking around, but it wasn't what you thought it would be. But let's see. Let's start winding down this reading. Very last messages for our pile number ones. Very last messages, Spirit. Oh, goodness. Very last messages for our pile number ones. Regarding important messages, finding pile number ones for the spring equinox. Very last messages for our pile number ones regarding important messages that are finding pile number ones for the spring equinox. Thank you. That flew out. 25 with high honor. I feel like I want to say your spiritual team honors you so much. Like, you're very protected, pile number ones. And I know this might sound weird, but sometimes even if you find yourself in like troubling situations that you brought on yourself, I feel like your spiritual team is really trying to protect you because they really know your heart and they really know your soul and they really know where you're coming from. And I feel like you're very protected right now regarding anything that might be coming up. And it's interesting because the bottom of the deck, we have official person. And I feel like in the spiritual realm, you're very decorated. Okay. Okay, let's see. Look, card number 26, Great Fortune. Tell us more, Spirit. Okay, tell us more. What important messages are finding pile number ones for the spring equinox? I'm getting a celebration here, but let's see. What important messages are finding pile number ones for the spring equinox? Clear, concise, accurate messages. Thank you. Okay, two cards came out. We have card number 24 with Thief and card number 18 with Child. 2 and 4, that's 6. 1 and 8, that's 9. 2 and 5, that's 7. And it's interesting because we have 24 and 25. You could be going away on a trip, maybe like for those of you that this message that I'm about to say resonates for, some of you might be going on a solo trip in order to connect to your inner child. It's almost like you're trying to gather some insight or intel or some answers regarding inner child healing and what you feel that has been taken from you as a child. Because it's interesting. Look at how this baby is holding their rabbit, their toy rabbit, like they just got it back, right? Card number 4, Courtship. Very interesting. One more card, Spirit, one more card. What important messages are finding pile number 1 for the spring equinox? One last message for our pile number 1s. We have card number 39 with community. Yeah, and there's a child in need, right? Which is interesting. I feel like some of you, if not all of you, are about to be given, something's about to be restored for you that you felt like you haven't gotten or felt this way since you were a child. And it could be from like your community. Your community might revere you so much. And you know what I'm also getting? Okay. You see how this kid, there's a lot of kids in these cards too. You see how this kid is trying to take this wealthy person's watch. And to me, it's giving the time that was taken from you, maybe as a child, or the time that was taken from you is being restored. Because of the high honors that you are in with almost like the spiritual realm, pile number 1s, okay? So I know that was a doozy, but that is about all the messages that I have. Let's roll some astro dice just to conclude your reading. Very last messages for our pile number 1s to conclude the reading. We have that Sagittarius energy, okay? We have, oh God, is this Uranus? It may or may not be, but a lot of change. And we have the 7th house, right? This is, to me, I think this is Uranus. Don't quote me on that, y'all. I think it is. So, it's either Uranus or it's not Pluto. It's Uranus. Radical change within your intimate connections, intimate relationships, especially with the 7th house. Hold on. Where'd it go? Here it is. I'm like messing up all these cards. And I feel like it's lucky because we have that Sagittarius energy, and Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. I feel like you're going to like the changes that are either happening in your love life or in your intimate connections. That can mean friends, family, you know, community, right? Just the people who you're close with and who you hold in high regards, right? Things like that. So yes, pile number 1s, that's all the time that I have for you, my dreamy dreamers. I love you all so much. I really hope this message resonated. If it did, hit the thumbs up button, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in our next reading. Bye. Hey, pile number 2s, welcome back to your reading regarding important messages finding you for the spring equinox. So pile number 2s, you all chose this gorgeous pink sacred geometric, it's called a rouleau ruby triangle, okay? So I have a feeling for you, pile number 2s, you're gonna be receiving a lot. This could be a lot of gifts, a lot of money or abundance. This could, I'm just getting star. I'm really getting divine feminine, hyper femininity. I'm getting also in this very like sacred or in like holy way, so to speak, right? I'm also getting Easter, like abundance, like bunny rabbits and like eggs. I'm seeing like, I'm just getting a lot of Easter energy. Star, who's like a sacred, divine, feminine goddess, right? A lot of history around Star in Mesopotamia being related to the holiday Easter, right? So it talks about fertility, it talks about abundance, it talks about how spring kind of correlates with the astrological new year because the sun is out, plants are blooming, flowers are blooming, things like that, okay? So I'm just getting like in full bloom, okay? Some of you all might be experiencing like a glow up or like some type of readiness, you know, suppleness, fertile ground, like you're ready for something, okay? But without further delay, let's get into your reading. Tell us more, Spirit. What important messages are finding our pile number 2s for the spring equinox? Clear, concise, accurate messages for our pile number 2s. What important messages are finding pile number 2s for the spring equinox? Wow. Okay, so we have you. Okay, look, another card just wants to come out, so we're going to take it. You are sacred, Tulsi. And again, I'm getting your body is a temple. Tulsi is a holy herb, right? I'm also getting judgment energy. Like whatever you put into your body, it's going to have an equal or opposite reaction. So you are sacred. And what did I say? Sacred geometric shape. Because this isn't an average triangle, right? It's called a rouleau, R-E-U-L-E-A-U-X. I think it's French. Triangle. And it's a sacred geometrical shape that you could only make with circles. So very interesting. And we have just be with oats. You are sacred, just be. That's what I'm getting here. You are sacred, just be. You know what I'm getting for you, pile number 2s? You are going to be rewarded just for being you. Again, I've said this a lot on this channel, but the more you relax, the more you receive. This is literally like clear instructions and a clear direction from spirit. You could be taken care of. Like, yes, your body is a temple, but you could literally be like, feeling really great and like insular in your home or something like that. Like creating a sacred space, whether it be within you or where you actually reside on a physical space. We have at the bottom of the deck, exuberant quietude. Damn, this is exactly what I was getting to. Yeah, like I feel like for some of you all, you might be kind of like to yourself, or spirit wants you to be to yourself a little bit more during the springtime. It's not to say you're not going to go out and enjoy the sun and enjoy the fresh air with friends or family or your community. It's not saying that, but I feel like more often than not, you're probably going to be at home chilling, doing something, just being. And if you're not just being by yourself, you're just allowed to be with others. You're just allowed to be during this time. That's what I'm getting here. Let's continue. Let's delve deeper into these messages with some tarot. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit, for cleansing and blessing this deck for our pile number 2s, for giving pile number 2s clear, concise, accurate messages. What important messages are finding pile number 2s for the spring equinox? What important message are finding pile number 2s for the spring equinox? A lot of you all could be in nature a lot more as well. You could be going on hikes, nature walks, going to like ponds or like rivers or something like that. Like more still bodies of water as well. What important messages are finding pile number 2s for the spring equinox? Clear, concise, accurate messages for our pile number 2s. Thank you. Clear, concise, accurate messages for our pile number 2s. What important messages are finding our pile number 2s? Okay, that wanted to come out. For the spring equinox. Okay. So we have the 3 of Swords in reverse. What other card came out? We have the World, we have the Fool in reverse, and we have the Chariot. Bottom of the deck, we have the 8 of Swords. Some of you all might be feeling a little anxious or nervous or confined. That's what I'm getting, confined. And it's interesting because we have this, what looks like a baby beaver or something like that. And it's almost like they're germinating in the womb. Like, it's like they're in the womb, right? But there's this nervousness, and it might not be a bad nervousness, but it's almost like a woman who is pregnant and her water's about to break. It's not like of course she's nervous, but it's because she's doing something maybe she hasn't done before, or because of the severity of what's to come, if that makes sense. And also it's interesting because we have the 8 of Swords and it looks like this animal, it looks like a beaver, but I don't know what it is in the womb, whereas this full energy here in reverse, their shell is breaking, right? So they're breaking out of the womb. They're breaking out of their little incubation. This is what I'm getting, incubation, right? So we have the 3 of Swords in reverse. Some of you all might be dealing with some sadness or you could be dealing or working through letting go of something is what I'm getting to, especially with the world and restabilizing, completing this cycle, and you're working through letting that go, letting go of like preconceived notions when it comes to something that you may have had to may have had to let go of, right? With the world. There's a successful completion in something, and maybe this is what that is. You're going to successfully complete letting go of like a old chapter and healing that wound, because anytime we end something, it does create, you know, a wound within us, right? And with the full energy in reverse, maybe you guys are a little reluctant or don't know how to start over. But I feel like you're going to figure it out because we have the Chariot energy here. And it's interesting because the Chariot energy has this Harpe eagle, which is this is a female leader of the eagles, right? And it's almost as if they're driving, they're driving this compass. Like it almost looks like this Harpe eagle has taken the wheel and they're like driving to their destination. But I think it's also interesting because we have the crescent moons here too. So it's like you're going on your path intuitively. So even if you don't feel, pile number 2s, that you're headed in the right direction because maybe you don't have to do so much, right? You're used to doing A, B, and C, and you know, you're not having to do as much as you did. So it might feel like you're being stagnant or stuck, but in reality, you're moving, but you're moving intuitively. You know, you're moving intuitively. Okay, let's get some clarifiers. Clarify this 3 of Swords in reverse for our pile number 2s. Why is this 3 of Swords in reverse here for pile number 2s? Why is this 3 of Swords in reverse here for pile number 2, Spirit? Thank you. We have the Queen of Wands, okay? So I feel like some of you all are letting something go in order to restore your confidence, or you are being restored. Your confidence is being restored after a shakeup or after something happened that, you know, didn't feel, it was like a loss, or it felt like a loss, or like just sad, you know, something that was troubling to you. You're getting your confidence restored, okay? Clarify this world energy for pile number 2. Why is this world energy here for pile number 2s? Clarify this world energy for pile number 2s. We have the Hierophant in reverse. Very interesting with the 6 of Wands. The Hierophant. I feel like some of you all are wrapping up a chapter. I feel like some of you all are wrapping up a chapter where you could have been doing things so unconventionally that like things are starting to now move for you in a conventional way. Like the wins that you're getting, because obviously I just showed you guys the bottom of the deck and it was a 6 of Wands. So that was good energy. So I'm getting like you guys have been moving so like unconventionally. Now these wins that are coming in, now these victories that are coming in, they're going to be like conventional success, which is a weird message, but that's the way it's coming out. Clarify this Fool in reverse. Why is this Fool energy in reverse for our pile number 2? We have the 2 of Pentacles. Some of you all could be worried about like this new beginning or taking a risk with something. This could be in work or with your money or something, because the Fool does also represent taking a risk, being a risk taker, taking a leap of faith. But some of you might be struggling with this risk because maybe you've been juggling two things for so long. This could be two jobs, two incomes. Clarify this Chariot energy for our pile number twos. The Six of Cups came back with the Chariot energy. I feel like whatever you're doing, however you're moving forward, it does feel good to you. It feels good for the soul, so to speak, right? You could be bringing people with you or like thinking about things that you've once done. Yeah, things that you once done. Some of you all could be like doing something that you used to do as a kid and it's making you happy, right? That's how you're moving forward. You're like, you're almost like wondering, well, what does my inner child want to do? How does my inner child want to play during this springtime, during this time? You're consulting with your inner child. You're consulting almost like with the past. Bottom of the deck is the Death card. So something's ending again with that World energy. Something is coming to a close. And it seems like maybe just cycles, right? Just cycles. There's a lot of major arcanas on the board too. We have the Chariot, the Fool, and the World card. Some of you all might be traveling, maybe to unconventional locations too with the Hierophant in reverse. Okay, let's see. Let's get some more cards. Let's see. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit, for cleansing and blessing this deck for our pile number twos, for giving pile number twos clear, concise, accurate messages. What important messages are finding pile number twos for the spring equinox? What important messages are finding our pile number twos for the spring equinox? Whoa. We have at the bottom of the deck, I don't read these in reverse. Card number 12, Privileged Ladies. Some of you all might be getting married in December. Please take that with a grain of salt. That might only be for one or two of you. But I say that, excuse me, you're like, why are you showing me Privileged Lady and talking about marriage? This card came out. Some of you, it's interesting because this is card number 3 and this is card number 12. So I'm filming this on 3/11. It should be posted on the 12th. This is a timeless reading, so it doesn't matter. But for some of you all, whenever you're watching this, this could be a year from now. You could be getting married on 3/12, or this could be your anniversary date. So some of you all might have already gotten married and it's like 3/12 is your anniversary. Let's see. Hold on. And we have card number 19. Some of you all could be ending a relationship too. Or yeah, some of you all could be ending a relationship or getting divorced with this Coffin energy. I'm not necessarily getting that though. I do feel like you're ending a cycle, you know, I do feel like you're ending a cycle. You know, there's a very specific message here too for you, pile number 2. Some of you all are knowing your worth. You know, if you've been in a relationship or if you've been in something, it doesn't even have to be a relationship. This could be a job, anything that has felt so confining. And maybe you've been staying there for the money or something like that. I feel like some of you all might find the courage to like end something conventional, right? Something conventional. To just be, because you know how sacred you are. You know how sacred you are. And you're not going to settle for less than what you deserve, what you feel like you deserve. That's what I'm getting here, okay? But I don't necessarily feel like this is like a divorce. It could be for some of you. But I do feel like you could be ending something. This could even just be an end of a cycle that's approaching, that's bringing in these blessings. But I do feel like some of you are ending something that like you stayed in or stayed at just because you felt or society was telling you or the people around you were telling you that this is what you're supposed to be doing, right? So let's Roll the Astro dice for our very last message. Very last message for our pile number 2s to conclude their reading. We have Sagittarius energy, we have the 5th house, and we have the North Node. Yes, some of you are following your destiny, following your bliss is what I'm getting. Also with Sagittarius energy, I feel like a lot of you are going to be lucky. Some of y'all could be Sagittariuses, and you're trying to figure out, like, you remember when I said consulting that inner child? This is the 5th house, and the 5th house talks about play, right? The 5th house is ruled by Leo, and it talks about like playing and funness and creativity. So I feel like you're finding your stride back when it comes to these things, pile number 2s, okay? So yes, pile number 2s, I love you all so much. I really hope this message resonated with you. If it did, hit the thumbs up button, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in your next reading. Bye. Hey, pile number 3s, welcome to your reading regarding what important messages are finding you for the spring equinox, okay? You all chose this gorgeous blue heart-shaped aquamarine stone. So what I'm getting for you, pile number 3s, is you guys are kind of in your element, and I feel like the heart doesn't lie. I feel like whatever the heart is feeling right now, you're going to be communicating that, hence the blue heart-shaped aquamarine. For some of you all, you guys might be Pisces, or you guys might be born in the, during the spring equinox or something like that. So happy birthday. Aquamarine, I believe, is the birthstone of Pisces. So happy birthdays if you are. But yeah, I'm really getting like the heart doesn't lie. You're going to be communicating very truthfully what you're feeling right now. Feelings could be coming up for you too, and I'm getting to trust it, okay? Trust those feelings, trust those emotions that's coming up to the surface. But let's begin. Tell us more, Spirit, clear, concise, accurate messages for our pile number 3s. What important messages are finding pile number 3s for the spring equinox? What important messages? Thank you. Oh, come on. What? Center and ground, red clover. We have a big, what is it? Anatomically correct heart. And we have a bee, 2 bees actually. And we have red clover. Red clover is really, I hear it's a really good drink for the heart. It's a really good herb for the heart. I feel like, again, your heart isn't lying. Things are functioning. Your heart is functioning very well, to the point where it's almost like giving you psychic energy. We have finding grace, star flower. Wow. I feel like some of you all could either be getting grace in love or giving grace in love, okay, for the spring equinox. I feel like that's what your heart is telling you. That also could be what someone else's heart is telling you. It's interesting too, because this card came out during the pre-shuffle, and then it's interesting because we have inner sanctum, to me, which is talking more about the heart energy, right? Finding grace. I feel like you're going to be finding more grace for yourself, for others. You could be becoming more compassionate. Becoming more compassionate, and because you're becoming more centered and grounded, right? Your heart space is becoming more pure. This could be also relating to matters of the heart as well. Tell us more, Spirit, clear, concise, accurate messages for our pile number 3s. What important messages are finding pile number 3s for the spring equinox? I'm going to turn this up because I think this is upside down. We have the Queen of Wands. We have the Hierophant. We have the 5 of Swords in reverse. Let's get one more card. What important messages are finding pile number 3s for the spring equinox? What important messages? What important messages are finding our pile number 3s for the spring equinox? And we have the Knight of Pentacles. We have the Page of Wands. Oh, King of Cups just fell out. You're becoming more grounded. You're becoming more emotionally intelligent, pile number 3s also. Okay. So pile number 3 is we have the Queen of Wands, the Hierophant, the Five of Swords in reverse, and the King of Pentacles. And again, look at that bee. Ooh, that's why I love tarot and energy. It just doesn't lie. Look at that bee, that worker bee, right? Trying to get to that pentacle. And look at these 2 bees. I'm just getting meant to be. Meant to be with the 2 bees. Now there's 3 bees, right? So again, we have the Queen of Wands, the Hierophant, which is the Airy, which is ironic because this is the ram. This isn't a bull by any means. This is the ram. We have the Five of Swords in reverse with the Stingray. And we have the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like you're taking things very slowly, very methodically. You are thinking before you react. You are thinking before you do. Nowadays, pile number 3s, okay? And I think that's an evolution. That's a sign of evolution. That's a sign of growth. I feel like it's because you're becoming more confident in yourself with the Queen of Wands. You are becoming more familiar with who you are. You're becoming more centered and grounded with who you are, okay? The Hierophant, this could have been due to a spiritual leveling up, a spiritual up level, ascension, something like that, right? You could be reaching new heights spiritually. And with the Five of Swords, with the Five of Swords in reverse, excuse me, I just feel as if you are no longer seeing things, how do they say it? An eye for an eye. You're not seeing things an eye for an eye. You're not seeing things like, I'm winning no matter what. You're not doing that. I feel like you're starting to care a little bit more. And it doesn't have to necessarily, I know this might sound crazy, but please bear with me in this explanation. I'm not necessarily talking about people. Of course, I'm sure any decent human being is going to care about people, right? That's the easier thing. But you're caring more so about your work. You're caring about how you pour into things. You're caring about, like life. Like you're caring about things that you may have not used to care about at all. I'm saying people usually, especially because empaths and empathetic people, it's easy to care about others because they're physical beings. But sometimes have you lapsed that care of self? You're starting to care for yourself more. Have you lapsed care for like your work and the things that you're supposed to put your energy and your effort into? I feel like that is becoming more of you're placing more emphasis on that, pile number 3s. I'm also seeing a network. Oh my gosh, y'all, there's 3 B's. There's 3 B's in this card. I just noticed that. I'm also seeing you're caring more about like your network. And I'm not necessarily just referring to people. I'm getting like your connections, the things that the dots are connecting to. You're starting to care about just people and things in general a lot more, okay? And I feel like it's because you're growing in emotional intelligence. But let's clarify. Clarify this Queen of Wands for our pile number 3s. Clarify this Queen of Wands for our pile number 3s. Thank you. We have the Page of Swords, okay? This could be some type of communication coming through for you. Maybe like quick communication. This could be gossip. This could be someone kind of like, the conventional meaning of this card could be like, you're agile, you're ready, you're pretty quick-witted. But it could also mean like gossip or like people kind of like keeping an eye on you or paying more attention to you is what I'm getting with the Page of Swords. People could be paying more attention to you, pile number 3s. So that's why you're feeling like, okay, I'm much more grounded and I want to be my best self. So I want to put more care and attention into what it is that I'm doing. Okay. That's what I'm getting. Clarify this Hierophant for our pile number 3s. Why is this Hierophant here for pile number 3s? Why is this Hierophant here for pile number 3s, Spirit? Why is this Hierophant here? 2 cards came out. So we have the 8 of Wands and the 5 of Pentacles. with the Hierophant. That's crazy. Eight of Wands typically talks about fast communication or like fast acting energy. Maybe this person hasn't communicated with you yet, but they're thinking about it, right? And it's interesting because we have this, what is this? An eagle? I don't know. But we have this bird here and they're trapped in all these arrows, right? It's like they're trying to be caught, right? The message is trying to get sent to them, but they're trapped in it. And then we have this Five of Pentacles with this bear kind of isolated, this polar bear that's being isolated, right? Very interesting. The Hierophant is clarified by the Five of Pentacles and the Eight of Wands. I do feel like there's an uprising within you, right? Maybe that is energetic communication being sent to you, or love being thrown your way, whereas you might have felt like neglected or like there wasn't that before, right? There was a lack of that. Okay, let's see. Clarify this Five of Swords in reverse. Why is this Five of Swords in reverse for our pile number threes? Why is this Five of Swords in reverse for pile number threes? Why is this Five of Swords reversed for pile number threes? We have the Devil energy. I feel like you're moving away from... You're moving away from materialism. You're moving away from like... Maybe even just thinking about yourself. Pile number threes, maybe you're becoming a little bit more empathetic. That's what I'm getting here with this energy. Let's clarify this Knight of Pentacles. Clarify this Knight of Pentacles for our pile number threes. Why is this Knight of Pentacles here for pile number threes? Clarify this Knight of Pentacles for our pile number threes. We have the Star card. It's like this direction. You're being pointed into this other direction. I felt like, although this is very different, this is a compass, right? And it's pointing you where you need to go. And I feel like you're listening to it slowly but surely. You remember that network that I was talking about with these bees? You're like, it's like a hive mind. Like you're listening to that. It's coming up for you. But it's not a hive mind in a bad way. It's like, I almost want to say your tribe is calling for you. You remember with this Eight of Wands, but the communications kind of seem like you're getting stuck or lost in translation or something like that. But something is rerouting you, but in the most beautiful of ways. And you're really paying attention. You're being guided right now with the Star energy is what I'm getting. This could be through healing, through your network. And I'm getting the network too with the tentacles of this jellyfish. That's very interesting. I'm curious. I'm going to go into this. What is this? This is the Page of Pentacles. Let me see what this Page of Pentacles has to say about bees. I'm quite curious. Oh, this is the Knight of Pentacles. Sorry about that. So it says efficiency, responsibility, and persistence. A bumblebee labors away atop a honeycomb. Hold on, wait. Let me grab that. So we have a bumblebee labors away atop a honeycomb, filling chamber after chamber with nectar that will one day yield golden honey. Flowers surround it to signify the process the bee goes through to accomplish its task. The bee must visit thousands of flowers to gather enough nectar to fill the combs, but it doesn't shy away from the work. It knows it is necessary. The Knight of Pentacles knows the value of hard work. Though the labor may be intense, it reminds us that only through continual effort will be able to reap the benefits that follow. Upright, the Knight of Pentacles exemplifies hard work that goes into fulfilling one's dream. Wow, with that Star energy, that Star card energy. You either know what you want out of life or you're developing a plan. You may have already taken steps to begin the methodical approach to reaching your goals. Consistency is valued over speed, and you have taken the time to plan accordingly. It may be boring, but know that your approach will lead to success. That's what I'm getting here, pile number 3s for you. You're actually putting time, love, energy, and patience into what it is that you're working on. It's gonna reap you major rewards. You're looking at things differently. You could even become a little obsessive about it, you know? And it's interesting because we had the devil card that was clarified. We have the 5 of swords, in reverse, clarified by the devil. And I feel like some of you could be clearing negative thoughts when it comes to work and how you work and what you do for work and things like that, okay? That's what I'm getting also. So let's see. Let's gain more clarity and insight. Tell us more, Spirit. Thanks for cleansing and blessing this deck, Spirit. Tell us more. What important messages are finding pile number 3s for the spring equinox? What important messages? We have card number 28, expectations. I feel that your if I could talk. I feel that your expectations are changing as well, pile number 3s. What important messages are finding pile number 3s for the spring equinox, Spirit? What important messages are finding our pile number 3s before? What important messages are finding pile number 3s for the spring equinox? We have card number 8, false person. Very interesting. So we have card number 28 and card number 8 with false person. I feel like, here's the thing. I feel like you are going to start showing up as yourself. You are going to start showing up as yourself, and you're going to start limiting the expectation that you have by doing that. Look at what's at the bottom of the deck. Card number 9, change. A lot of you all are changing and you're growing, which is a beautiful thing. And I feel like some of you all thought it was like kind of uncool to, you know, maybe be fully yourself, or you had to put on this mask, right? But I feel like that is crumbling. You're going to start showing who you really are and what you really care about, regardless of how it makes others feel, regardless of how it makes yourself feel. You're going to start being more vulnerable and coming into yourself more is what I'm getting for you, pile number 3s. Okay, so let's roll the astro dice. I'm sorry, there's been like a rooster or something crowing in the background, y'all. Y'all just gonna have to take it. I'm gonna try to reduce the noise, but it's just been howling away. Maybe that's a sign. Very last message for our pile number 3, Spirit. Last messages for pile number 3s before we end the reading. Okay, we have Leo energy. There's a lot of Leo energy right now. I don't know what transits are going on, but there's a lot. I believe this is Plutarian energy. So there's, again, a lot more change is happening. And we have the 5th house. And so I feel like there's a lot of change in you showing up as, you being in the spotlight, you doing something creative, pile number 3s. I really do feel like you're about to start having more fun with the things that you do, okay? And who you are as a person also. So yes, my dreamy dreamers of pile number 3s, I love you all so much, and I really hope this message resonated with you. If it did, hit the thumbs up button, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in our next reading. Bye. Hey, pile number 4s, welcome back to your reading regarding important messages that are finding you for the spring equinox, okay? My pile number 4s, last but certainly not least, you all chose a 4-pointed star-shaped diamond. You know, immediately when I seen this, I just thought of April. I just thought of April because I know that April is, diamond is the birthstone of Aries. And I just thought of, I thought of April, end of March, majority of April. So if you are an Aries, happy birthday. I feel like this message is for you, but it might not be. So take what resonates, leave the rest. But yes, also what I'm getting is like, some of you all might have a message in pile number 1 as well, because it was like 4-leaf clover and then a 4-pointed star. I thought that was pretty interesting. I'm also getting the North Star, even though there could be more points on the North Star, but I'm also getting like following your true north. Let's reveal the bottom of this deck. It says distill yourself. Okay. Which is interesting, distill yourself. And when I think of distill, I am thinking about purifying, right? Like trying to find your way back to the center of yourself, okay? Some of you all, if you are Aries, I know Saturn just went into Aries, so you might feel like there's a heavy load on you, or there's been a lot more work or burden or tasks, you know, that you've had to complete or do. But let's just get into the reading. These did shoot out of the pre-shuffle and they shot out so directly. I'm like, I'm taking them. I feel like this is what they wanted pile number 4s to know. So let's get into it. We have create space. Very interesting. And look, we have 2 birds and they're nesting, right? And one bird is probably going away to find food for the mother, for their babies, right? Very interesting. Create space. I love this. And then we have tap your resources. Tap your resources with burdock. So we have create space, tap your resources with burdock. And then we have create space with raspberry, excuse me. And then we have distill yourself. And you remember when I said you're finding your way back to the center? Because that's what this little maze is about. The herb is time, right? Create space and tap your resources. All right, pile number 4. So I feel like you guys are on a quest. You guys are looking for something. This could be you tapping your resources to create more space for you and the people you love, your loved ones. I feel like some of you all really might be working hard to create something, right? I'll just say that. You guys might be working really hard to create something, but all in well, here's the thing. You have to always find your center so you can have more space within yourself to create, right? That's what I'm getting. Through trying to take care of others, don't neglect yourself. I feel like this came out in another pile, but this is coming out very frankly here. Some of you all maybe might be having a child or might be doing something, and so you're feeling really adamant about creating something and making more room for this new entity, whether it be a human, whether it be a business, something like that, to flourish. That's what I'm getting here, okay? So let's just hop right into the reading. But before we do that, I'm also getting called to bring this card. I'm gonna put it back, but it's also like a map is being created for you. So wherever you're going to find these resources is going to be right in the center of where you maybe had least expected, or through change and development of your own centered being, if that makes sense. That sounds very deep, but that's what I'm getting here. So let's see. Let's get into these tarot messages. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit, for cleansing and blessing this deck for our beautiful pile number 4s. What important messages are finding pile number 4s for the spring equinox? What important messages are finding our pile number 4s for the spring equinox? Okay, I'm going to just turn this upwards because I'm getting that. We have the Fool. What important messages are finding our pile number 4s for the spring equinox? We have the Wheel of Fortune. What important messages are finding our pile number 4s for the spring equinox? We have the Ace of Swords. I love that. It's a beautiful image too. What important messages are finding our pile number 4s for the spring equinox? Clear, concise, accurate messages for our pile number 4s. Thank you. Wow. Okay, pile number 4s. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. We have the Moon, and the hair jumped over the moon. That's what I'm getting, that fairy tale. There could be some certain mystery or like a fairy tale or like a fable. You know how like the morals are like locked into the fairy tales and the stories. There's a moral to this story. That's what Spirit is trying to tell you. There's a moral to whatever you're going through right now. There's a moral to this story, pile number 4s. Okay, so let's see. We have the Fool, the Wheel of Fortune, the Ace of Swords, and the Knight of Swords. Very interesting. So we have one player on the table, right? One court card, and we have 2 major arcanas, and then we have a minor arcana of the same court suit. Let's begin. Immediately, what did I see? These 2 eggs and then 1 hatching. Something is about to happen for you. This new beginning is about to happen for you. It doesn't necessarily have to be a human child or anything like that, but something that you've been creating or something that you've been working on is about to flourish. It's about to break open. It's about to be here, right? With that being said, things are going to change for the better. There's good change here with the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like you're going to start seeing your luck shift. You're going to start seeing more things come into your favor, right? Now, the thing is, I feel like you remember in the beginning of the reading when I pulled this card out with finding that center, what it is that you're looking for is actually right smack dab in the middle. It's almost like, you know how we can't see our nose, but because it's in the middle of our face, that's what I'm getting. Something that you can't see, but you're looking for is right in the middle. And that's why you can't necessarily see it, because it's right in the middle. It's like, yeah, so like out of your periphery. Now, with the Ace of Swords, we have this beautiful swan and this very unique sword. And it's almost like the swan is like about to take flight or do a dance or something like that. The Ace of Swords does talk about us finding clarity. It's a victory in and of itself, right? It's a victory in and of itself through finding clarity. And I feel like that is related to that center. You could be creating space within your mind in order to get something off the ground, in order to crack something open that you have been wanting to come into fruition. Now, with the Knight of Swords, I feel like when you discover this, when you have this clarity, it's going to come in very quickly. You see how, I don't know what kind of bird this is, and I could look into the guidebook. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shooting stars, and it's moving with this Knight of Swords, this bird, right? Which talks about communication to me. And then we have, they have the sword still in their wing, like they're carrying it to battle, like they're swiftly moving with this. So I feel like, okay, some of you all might get like a message or insight. This could even be internal. Also, I know I'm jumping around a lot, but these messages are coming in very quickly. There's a lot of birds here. So I feel like that's how you guys feel as well. You feel like there's a lot of messages coming in so quick. You kind of have to center yourself in order to make sense of them. You have to center yourself in order to make sense of the messages that are coming to you because they're important. They're like, you remember, again, going back to the beginning, it's the moral that's in the story, right? And that's what's going to give you that victory. This could be something very sacred too that you didn't realize. It's like you're coming back to life as well, pile number 4s. Let's start clarifying because this is getting pretty deep. Again, with the moon, things might seem elusive now, but I feel like they're becoming clearer by the spring equinox, right? You're going to start breaking out of your shell or something. If it's not you, it's something that you've been working on that's heading towards completion. Clarify this Fool energy for our pile number 4s. Why is this Fool card here for pile number 4, Spirit? Why is this Fool card here for pile number 4? Clear, concise, accurate messages. Why is this Fool card here for pile number 4s? We have the 7 of Wands. I feel like you're defending something, right? A risk that you have either taken or you're taking. Spirit is telling you to defend it with your life. This could be this new beginning. This could be this new identity. This could be anything that you're starting that might seem like a risk. Defend it, whatever that means. I have to read the 7 of Wands because it keeps coming. It's come up multiple times. So let's see. Because I'm just curious about this animal. I have an idea of what animal or species this is, but I can't remember off top of the dome. So it says 7 of Wands, perseverance, competition, resistance. The tardigrade, I was never gonna get this, wraps itself around 7 stalks of seaweed, ready to weather anything that comes its way. Tardigrades are some of the hardest organisms on the planet. They can be found on top of mountains, at the bottom of the ocean, in lakes, in stone, in pretty much any environment on the planet, and even off it. The 7 of Wands reminds us to channel the tardigrade's hardness. Yeah. Though you are surrounded by different obstacles and trials, you will overcome. You're stronger than your troubles, and you can endure. You're stronger than your troubles and can endure. It says, when upright, the 7 of Wands suggests you've accomplished something worthy of recognition. But once all eyes are turned to you, there's a high possibility that there will be naysayers and critics waiting for the chance to say their piece. You're about to undergo a harsh period of criticism, and much of it will feel undeserved. Don't be afraid to defend yourself, but be aware that the brighter you shine, the more people will want to see you fall. Part of the challenge of creating something amazing, wow, create space, that's crazy, is proving to others that your success is deserved. Hard work, believe in what you've done, and know that this adversity will make you stronger. Yeah, so whatever naysayers or people have to say, defend this with your life. That's what I was getting. Defend this with your life. And this is going to be easy for you, pile number 4s, because like I said, I felt like this was a reading specific to Aries or people with Aries placement in their chart. And that's something that's natural to you guys. You guys don't have to really work towards defending yourself. You guys, you're ready for the challenge. You're ready for naysayers. Like, now I'm not saying every Aries, but that can be a beautiful quality. You're able to fight against the machine. You're able to fight against BS, right? And I say that because Aries is the god of war. So the people who are naysaying, they really don't know who they're up against, is what I'm trying to say. So let's see. Clarify this Wheel of Fortune for our pile number 4s. Why is this Wheel of Fortune here for pile number 4? Spirit, clear, concise, accurate messages. Why is this Wheel of Fortune here for pile number 4s? These 2 cards wanted to come out. We have the Tower and the Hermit in reverse. All eyes are about to be on you. And this is change that I don't necessarily think you guys are entirely ready for. You're going to be ready because you don't have an option. You're going to get ready if you're not ready. But like with the Hermit card, I feel like you guys have been in the background for quite some time. And now that you're about to be in the forefront, there's a lot that's going to shift. That's all I'm saying. There's a lot that's going to shift. And I don't think this is a bad thing. I think this is something that you've literally been asking for, and it's going to come into the umpteenth degree. Okay, so let's see. Clarify this Ace of Swords for our pile number 4s. Clarify this Ace of Swords for our pile number 4s. Strength. Yeah, see, you got this. Pile number 4s, you got this. You guys were born for this. You guys were born for this spotlight and this attention. And I feel like the Ace of Swords is basically signaling that. The Ace of Swords is basically signaling that you know this is what you were born to do, and you're going to rise to the occasion, and you're going to have like an epiphany about that. You're going to have an epiphany about that, and it's going to give you so much more clarity and so much more energy that you've just needed this whole time, right? And then we have this beautiful stag, this strength energy, this embodiment of strength, right? And they're just ready. And look at that diamond. No fucking way. Look at that diamond. That's trippy, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. Look at that diamond shape in the back of this stag. And then we have this beautiful reef. They're beautiful antlers. They're so ready. I have to read this. That's wild to me. And this is a major arcana, so I know this is going to be... So we have bravery, compassion, and control. A reindeer, so it's a reindeer, not a stag. A reindeer stares regally from a wreath of oak leaves and acorns. Its large antlers frame a diamond. You can't make this shit up. Excuse my French, y'all, but how this reading is going is so spiritually inclined. It's like, it's ineffable. Like, you can't explain it. Anyways, because oaks are hardy trees with long lifespans, they are commonly associated with longevity, wisdom, strength, and even divination. Come on, bro. Whew. The diamond represents our inner riches and fills the spirit with positive energies. The reindeer draws from these kindred forces to reinforce its wise spirit and unwavering endurance, both of which will be used during the journey of its life. The Strength cards reminds us that sometimes our inner power can be a far greater force than anything physical. Exactly. So it says, when upright, the Strength card suggests that you will possess great inner strength and control over your willpower. You will need to rely on your own perseverance, tenacity, and determination to pursue your goals and overcome hardships. Others may underestimate you, but that's crazy. Others may underestimate you. This is basically what this side of the reading was talking about. But the results will speak for themselves. You don't need to prove anything to anyone other than yourself. Seek to control situations by entering them with your head held high. Oh shit. This swan, not only is its head held high, but its shoulders are back. It's puffing out its chest, ready. It's ready for whatever. Anyways, this position also encourages you to temper your outward reactions and impulses and channel them into something more constructive. Gut reactions will not serve you as well as careful consideration right now. Leave impulse behind and embrace patience. Okay, this wasn't this reading, but impulsivity came out in another reading, which makes sense. This is a spring reading, right? Leave impulse behind and embrace patience and planning. Now is not the time to be hasty. Our inner power can be a far greater force than anything physical. Boom. So, that was accurate. Clarify this Knight of Swords for our pile number 4s. Clarify this Knight of Swords for pile number 4s. Clear, concise, accurate messages. Clarify this Knight of Swords for our pile number 4, Spirit. Clarify this Knight of Swords for pile number 4s. Clear, concise, accurate messages. Clarify this Knight of Swords. The World. Let's get one more card. Clarify this Knight of Swords for pile number 4s. Clarify this Knight of Swords for pile number 4s. Why is this Knight of Swords here for our pile number 4s? Ace of Cups. I feel like the Knight of Swords is representing, look at that. King of Wands. This is totally giving Aries, definitely fire sign, but it's totally giving Aries energy, and I'm really proud of y'all. I'm proud of y'all so much. Pile number 4s. This Ace of Cups is beautiful. Look at this Ace of Cups. I feel like the message that's coming in, I feel like your angels, ancestors, and guides are really here to be like, hey, we got you. Don't trip. Like, some of you all could be like experiencing like messages, like quick downloads from the astral world, right? So from your angels, ancestors, and guides, this could be quick, like a trip too. But I feel like you are really integrating the messages that you're getting, and that's of self-love with the Ace of Cups. You are providing more self-love. You're creating that space, that inner resource, right? Tap your resources, create space. You're creating that inner space for yourself to get the love that you need in order to continue with your goal. And it isn't because it's just this random goal or this one-off goal. It's a part of your life's purpose. It's a part of your alchemical process into the Magnus Opus, right? Which is like what you've been put on this planet to do. So you can't get that through validation from the outside world. You can only get that through validation from your own spirit and from the Most High, right? And your angels, ancestors, and guides, right? And that's what's flourishing during the spring's equinox is your inner world, and you're keeping it so pure and pristine, and you are tapping into this resource of your inner world. So when you need replenishment, you always have somewhere to go, which is the center of yourself, which is your being, right? Woo. Pile number 4s. Jeez Louises. Oh, jeez. These just flew out. What are these? The King of Wands and the Queen of Cups. Child, I'm about to cry. I'm very proud of you, pile number 4s, because I feel like you guys are really pouring into yourself and you have needed to for a very long time. And you're finally doing it, and you're going to see so much fruit from it. And it might have taken some time, but it's growth. You have grown. You can measure this. Okay, I'm gonna just keep these here because by golly, by gosh. Ooh, that took a turn. Y'all packed a punch, pile number 4s, but I still have some cards to pull. So let's get into concluding your reading. We have the King of Wands and the Queen of Cups. This is just you pouring into yourself and you feeling regal and knowing your worth and your value and what you bring to any space. Okay, tell us more, Spirit. Last messages to wind down pile number 4's reading. What important messages are finding pile number 4's for the spring equinox? What important messages are finding pile number 4's for the spring equinox? We have card number 24 with Thief. What important messages are finding number 4's before, what important messages are finding pile 4's for the spring equinox? What important messages are finding pile 4's for the spring equinox? We have Pathway, card number 35. I feel like, yeah, pile number 4's. I feel these are connected. You are being guided, truly being guided right now. And I feel like you are accepting the guidance, which in maybe previously you may not have been able to. Not saying that you haven't, but maybe you haven't, you kind of got lost along the way with certain things, right? We have card number 7, Message. And then we have card number 2 with Main Female. There could be, you know what's so interesting? There could be a female guide that's helping you, giving you, sending you these messages, pile number 4's, because they want to restore the time that you felt like was lost, or you felt like you just could not win. You just could not see the way forward. They're restoring something. I do want to clarify this Thief card. Clarify this Thief card, Spirit. Why is this Thief card here? Okay, so Poverty in reverse was, I feel like, yeah, money, time, resources that you felt were stolen from you are about to be replenished. You're about to see them come back up. I genuinely feel this way. And I feel like there's a female guide that's helping you. This could be a grandparent. This could be a grandmother. This could be an aunt that you've met, you know, something like that. Clarify this Thief card for our pile number 4's. Why is this Thief card here? Gosh, look, unexpected income and coffin. Yeah. If you felt like, you know, you were just taken from, look at this, card number 26, Great Fortune. Yeah. Whatever that you felt that you lost, money, time, resources, this is being restored back into your life. It just is. Sometimes we'll go through those times to where we don't have much resources. Sometimes we'll have an exorbitant amount of resources, right? But I feel like whatever you felt like was taken from you or was lost, it's about to be restored to you, pile number 4's, okay? So let's roll some astro dice to conclude this reading. Very last messages for our pile number 4's to conclude the reading, Spirit. The 5th house, I feel like, came out in 3 different piles. We have Capricorn energy, we have the 5th house, and we have Jupiter. Yeah, your luck is being brought back into your life, pile number 4s. Some of you all might be Capricorn. Some of you might have Capricorn in the 5th house, or some of you all might have Jupiter in Capricorn. Jupiter in Capricorn, which means you might have to work very hard in order to like be expansive or to find luck. You know, luck doesn't maybe seem to come that easy, but with hard work and effort, you definitely create your own luck. That's kind of what I'm getting with Jupiter and Capricorn, but what I'm getting with Capricorn in the 5th house is work hard, play hard too. I'm getting that for sure. Pile number 4s, okay? So that is all the time that I have for you, my dreamy dreamers. I love you all so much, and I really hope this message resonated with you. If it did, hit the thumbs up button, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next reading. Bye.